Hi, welcome back. In this video, we're going to look at finding the surface area of this figure that has two different bases. Now, both my figures are prisms, so I can kind of get confused if I try to refer to one as prism and the other as prism. So I'm going to think of one as prism A, and I'm going to think of the other one as prism B as I go through. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find my perimeters of my bases for A and my perimeter of my base for B. So for A, base A, it is this little rectangle or this little square. It's 0.5 by 0.5, right? 0.5 by 0.5. So the perimeter of this one is going to be 0.5 4 times. So 0.5 times 4 is 2. That's my perimeter. The area of the base times height, 0.5 times 0.5. 0.5 times 0.5 is 0.25. Okay, so then next I'm going to look at base B. Base of prism B. Prism B has a base that's also a square, it's just bigger, right? So it's 1.5 times 1 point, or by 1.5. So the perimeter is going to be 1.5, and there's 4 of them. 1.5 times 4, which is 6. And then the area of my base is going to be 1.5 by 1.5, base times height. 1.5 times 1.5 gives me 2.25. So now when I'm looking at prism A, I need to figure out how much of prism A do I want. Okay, I definitely want all of the sides, so I definitely want the lateral area, but then I only want the top base. I don't need the bottom base because that's inside my shape, right? So I just want the top base. So just plus 1 base. Okay, then for prism B, this is where we kind of get really kind of interesting. For prism B, I definitely want the side, so I definitely want the lateral area. And then when I look at my bases, I definitely want the bottom. So I do want that base. And then when I go, but do I want the top? Well, sort of, right? I want part of the top. I want the top, I want another base. So I want the second base, but I need to take away the part that's inside, which is the base from prism A. So I need to take a prism A base away. Okay, so what I'm really looking at here is I want the lateral area, plus I want 2 bases from prism B, but then I need to take away a prism A base. Okay, so now my lateral area for a prism, again, if we've forgotten, we can come back here and look at lateral area column for prism, and it's the perimeter of the base times the height. So the perimeter of the base times the height plus the base of prism A. So the perimeter of prism A was 2. The height of prism A is 2. The base of prism A is 0.25. So I'm going to grab my calculator. 2 times 2 plus 0.25. 2 times 2 plus 0.25 gives me 4.25. That's the surface area of just prism A. Prism B is the lateral area, which is still a prism, so it's the same pH, plus 2 bases minus a base from prism A. Okay, so when I go to fill this in, my perimeter of Prism B is 6. The height of Prism B is 1, plus 2 bases from Prism B, 2.25, minus a base from Prism A, 0.25. Let's put this in the calculator to find how much of Prism B we want. We want 6 times 1 plus 2 times 2.25 minus 0.25. When I do that, I get 10.25. When I put all of this together. So my total surface area then is going to be my 4.25 plus, so my orange Prism A, plus my blue Prism B, making the total surface area for this figure 4.25 plus 10.25, 14.5. My units here are meters, and since we're doing area, it's meters squared. Okay, in the next video, we're going to start looking at volume examples. So we're going to find volumes of composite figures. So come on back when we work with volume. Thanks so much for watching.